Hey guys, Keon here, and today I'm bringing you another episode of For the Love of Anime. This series follows my reviews and thoughts on animes I watch and giving my opinion on them. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So we start off our story meeting our main protagonist, Lelouch, who goes to Ashford Academy, which is in Japan. The story is set in an alternate timeline where the world is split into three superpowers: the Holy Brittanian Empire, the Chinese Federation, and the European Union. We pick up where the Holy Brittanian Empire is on a conquest of Japan in 2010, where they strip the Japanese of their citizenship, rights, and freedoms and rename the country to Area 11 by using their new weapons known as autonomous armored knights, or as they say in the anime, a nightmare frame, which are mechs in this universe. So let's backtrack a bit. When we start the anime, we meet Lelouch, also known as Lelouch v Brittania. Lelouch is an exiled prince of Brittania and a child of the Britannian Emperor Charles Z. Brittania and Marianne v Brittania. Marianne and Charles also have other children as well. The most well-known in the anime would have to be Nonali v Brittania, who is always by Lelouch's side. Nonali lost her eyes after witnessing her mother's murder in the royal palace, and because of this, Lelouch always hated his father for not doing anything and for not pursuing his mother's killer, and because of this, he's always vowed for vengeance. The reason why Lelouch and Nonali are in Japan is because they're pawns in order for them to calm down the Japanese government, which later got invaded by the Holy Brittanian Empire. And years later, Lelouch goes by the name of Lelouch and is one of Ashford Academy's most popular students. Lelouch ends up skipping class and ends up gambling in chess, where he ends up getting caught up in a terrorist attack. During the terrorist attacks, the royal guards end up trying to fight the terrorists as well, and during this whole attack, Lelouch ends up fighting and rescuing a mysterious girl later named as C2. C2 gives him an opportunity to make a contract with her, and she bestows him with a power known as Geass, or the power of kings. This Geass lets him control people through eye contact. The person will live, fight, or die for Lelouch to have. There are other Geass powers that we find out later in the story, but Lelouch's power is more important than the others because he's the main protagonist and also one of the strongest powers that you could possibly find. With his newfound powers, Lelouch goes on and attempts to fight his mother's murderer, destroys the Britannian Empire, and makes a safe place for his sister Nonali. After getting his power, he ends up becoming a masked vigilante known as Zero. He ends up taking over the resistance and turning it into his own personal military known as the Black Knights. With him doing the most effort, he also ends up fighting up against his childhood best friend, Suzaku, who works for the Britannian Empire. He's trying to prove he can be a model Britannian citizen even though he's Japanese and blinded with his loyalty to Britannia. He fought Lelouch and is always trying to stop him. All the conflict that Lelouch goes through is to better his life and reclaim not only the throne, but also to exact his vengeance.
Raise an army that can't lose to Britannia. A people, a nation. I can't stand
went into Code Geass, my expectations were about average. When I was in high school, I knew a lot of people who watched it and gave it some pretty good reviews. I decided to hop off my lazy ass and decided to watch the series through, and honestly, I really liked it. The mech designs are pretty cool, which is what I look for in a mech anime, and the fact that the Sunrise studio made it too makes it even better because Sunrise also makes shows that you're familiar with, like Gundam and Valvrave. Besides that, the story was pretty cool. It's nothing new, nothing that I haven't seen. War between countries, main characters who have lineage, loyalty, and revenge, blah blah blah. You know, the whole gist. The powers of the Geass were pretty cool, and one of the characters, Rollo Lamproug, can even use his Geass power within his nightmare frame, which I think is pretty unique. There's not many anime that I've seen personally that the characters have powers that are compatible with mechs, so I thought that was very unique. The pacing of the series seemed pretty okay. The art style is okay compared to like anime nowadays, but for its time, it was really cool. It's a good animation. I personally think it's a favorite amongst fans who are into shonen-esque mecha anime. Besides the random episodes that were slice of life, there's a lot of plot development between characters in the story, so it's pretty sick to see. I really enjoyed it a lot. If I was to rate Code Geass, I'd rate it a good 6, 7 out of 10. There's definitely some things that they could have fixed, making Lelouch's dad more inclusive as a villain versus him just being in the background most of the time, or having him fight Lelouch instead of having Suzaku do it for him. The Geass powers can also get confusing along with its origins, which I feel like they should have explored more instead of just throwing it into the series and having more than one person have it, because I was really confused when I started seeing more people having Code Geass powers. I was like, dude, what is this? I also didn't like that Lelouch took so long to have everyone figure out that he was Zero, and trying to balance his school life with his Zero persona. I feel like his school life didn't really fit once everything went to shit. You know? The reason I say this is because he has some attachments to the academy, and they wanted to portray Lelouch still as a high schooler, even though he was leading a resistance to overthrow Brittania. But maybe I'm just nitpicking here. It's really a good anime overall, and if you want to watch something cool, watch some cool mechs battle it out with powers and some interesting character development, I definitely give this anime a try. And if you like this video, make sure to give a thumbs up and turn the bell icon for more videos that I post, and if you agree with this video, or disagree, or have any opinions, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. And also let me know what anime I should do next. This is Keon, signing out.